drop, and in my headphones it left, and then excuse me, a second later, the sound was gone on the podcast, and it went. I'm like, oh, what did I do? Did I just kick something? Did I just? So I'm not entirely sure what I did. If my foot hit something down here, like down in this region, or the what do you call it? Space heater that I have blew a fuse. I said to him. So there you go. Anyway, I think I remember where I was in the story. Diana starts to smooth out the Madison incident on Mother's Day. And I was in here doing my thing, and then after a few minutes, I was calmed down enough. I went in, helped patch it up. Good to go. It was a textbook smoothing over. Sometimes things get dramatic around here. Case in point, that. And so it ended, thank God. You know what? It just dawned on me. Oh, shit. I hope to God. Oh, no. My show plan okay, this is a bummer. When I was creating the show today, I wrote down all my things and I put them on this computer screen, okay, of what I'm going to talk about and the people, the stories and stuff like that. So, well, as luck would have it, when I did kick this damn thing, and it shut down the computer, so anything that I had saved is now gone. So, unfortunately, what I need to do is shut this down again and give you a rare take 3 on the show, I think. Nope, there it is. Thank God. Ooh, false alarm. I'm so happy. I thought I was going to have to shut this thing down again and then make you be like, oh, God, there he goes again. But no, I figured it out. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. I want to thank whoever the saintly person was who sent me this. This is a, I'll zoom in on it. This is my chunk, don't eat no junk decal or sticker. Someone sent it to me in the mail. Whoever you are a true saint. A chunk is the freaking woodchuck that is just an internet sensation that I am so fond of. And I'll link it up again. Thank you to whoever sent this. This made my day when I got it. You're very, very kind. I think I know who it is. I think it's Kenny. I think Kenny sent that. But I'm not positive. If not, come out of the woodwork. I want to talk to you. I want to thank you personally. So as I was winding down the week last week, Friday, we decided to come home after the podcast. It was so damn cold up north. It was snowing like crazy while we're driving home, all right? And, I mean, it was, like, really snowing. So we're driving home, and the way it goes is you got the motor home, and then behind me I tow a car. I tow that, and it's on what's known as a car dolly. So that's just 2 wheels and a ramp, and your car's 2 front wheels go on top of the dolly, and then there's these straps that go around the tire, hooks to the dolly. It's got like this ratchet setup. You clamp it down, and it's great. So, okay, never a problem. The only time that was a problem was when I didn't remove it appropriately, and I ripped off the front bumper of that car a couple years ago because of that. But I figured that out. Other than that, no other problems. Until Friday. Driving home from Fear Bunker North. And we pull over in Cadillac, Michigan, this gas station we always stop at to walk the dogs. And I go back. Thank God I did this. And I put some gas in the RV because it was getting like 8 miles to the gallon. And I look at the car to check the straps. And one of the 2 tires' straps is off. I mean, off. Not there on the tire. And it has, the car has shifted. And, you know, the front wheel set in this little, like, almost like a spot, a housing for the tires to go. It's come off of that. And the car is now, like, weirdly tilted on the dolly. So I go, oh my God, this could have been a catastrophe because now the car has moved to some degree. It would have been just a matter of time before the other strap on the other side came off because it's wiggling and it's, getting looser and looser. And it was loose, the other side, but it held. It held the car on there. If that had come off, you would have heard about a news story where I know some of you bastards are like, oh, my God, that would have been great, but I'd have killed somebody because the car would have flown off the back of the dolly and gone rolling through the it would have been a tragedy, and somebody would have been badly hurt. My gosh, am I lucky. So what the hell happened? I still don't know what caused that, but the story doesn't end there because, now I'm like, if there's no strap, how the hell am I going to get home? But it turns out the strap got hung up on the dolly. So the strap is right there. And I'm like, oh, thank God, a bullet dodge. This is fantastic. What a stroke of luck. A, I didn't kill anybody. B, I can just put the strap back on, and then we go home on our merry way. Now, that is what the plan was in theory. I go to grab the strap. Strap is not coming loose. I'm like, what happened? It turns out the strap in this car dolly, it's got, like I said, 2 wheels, and there's a fender, a fiberglass fender over the wheel. And there's like wiring that comes in because you got to have like brake lights. That strap has wrapped around the axle of the dolly, and it's under that fender. It's not coming out. And I'm like, how that? First of all, the strap has these metal brackets, and I'm incredibly lucky that it didn't puncture the tire, damage the trailer, and it's like knotted up there. It's wound up in that damn thing. I'm like, well, it makes sense. It was cruising at however fast you're going, and it's got to go somewhere, and it forced itself into there. So I'm like, well, I'm screwed. I'm hopeless. I'm helpless. I can't do anything. And so I'm talking to myself, well, you're shitty. There's no way you're going to get this fixed. You might as well call some poor son of a bitch who's probably just wanting to hang out with his family, and he's going to have to come and help me because I suck at everything. Oh, shit. And then I go, well, now, wait a minute here. You brought tools, right? This is me talking to me. And I answered, yeah. So it was kind of like,
hey.
Yeah.
You brought tools, right?
Yeah. I brought some tools.
Well, fucking just look at what's there, plan it out, and take that fucking fender off.
Take the fender off? What are you, crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. You can do this. Just look at it, breathe, and don't panic, and you'll figure it out, you dumb son of a bitch.
All right. 4 bolts. And I'm like, well, I think this is right. I don't know. And I get out the socket set. I'm right at the pump of this gas station. And all these hillbillies are looking at me, none of them wearing masks. Nobody up there wears masks. They don't even believe that any of this happened. They're all going home to watch Plandemic, plan the next Whitmer debacle. They hate me because I'm wearing a mask. They're not going to help me. I'm wearing a mask, so they probably want to, bury an axe in my head or something like that. I loosen these bolts. And remarkably, that's all it took. 4 bolts. The cover comes off. And then I'm like, I think I'm doing this right. What is happening here? This is strange. And I'm like, oh, man. This is uncharted territory for me. Normally, I'm like dropping the bolts and go and roll into the sewer, or I don't have the right tools, or I make it worse, or something like that. And then this couldn't have worked more perfectly. I carefully removed the strap, and then the next thing I know, I got the strap, and I was so proud. I go, honey, you got to see this. You got to look at this. Look at what I did. I was so proud of that. Oh, my God. I was as proud of that as when I brought down that tree in the backyard. You remember that video that has been viewed now almost 700,000 times on Facebook, and everybody said I was an asshole and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm stupid. Now, of course, now people are going to say, well, you're stupid because you even thought you had a problem with that. Excuse me. I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. I think I yelled too much already, and I've strained my vocal cords. I'm sounding like Dale. And then now I have to put it all back together. I'm like, oh, okay, now this is where it gets bad. This is where it's going to fall apart. No, I got it all done. It was freaking golden. It couldn't have worked better. So put it all back together on my way. It cost me 45 minutes. Awesome. I do want to go over some Twitter polls with you. And when my computer setup did puke on me, I lost where I was. But I put a couple of polls out, and I want to say that I'm surprised, but I am a little surprised at some of the things that I came up with on the Twitter poll. But I'm also a little sad. The first poll that I put out was, what would you rather be? Alive and bankrupt or dead with money? Now, this was in response to, all of the people that are saying, I'd rather be working and all this stuff. There's been all sorts of talk about it. We've covered it. But I was shocked. Almost 30% of the audience said that they would rather be dead with money. And what a dumb thing to say. I'm really floored at the stupidity of the people that voted, that said, yeah, I would. It was only 154 votes. But the fact that 30% of you would rather, you realize, don't you, that you're dead. And though you have the money, you're dead. My point was, it should be 100%, because if you're alive and bankrupt, you have the chance to make money, right? You can have the thing and the other variable. You can have the money eventually. But just because you're bankrupt doesn't mean you're going to be bankrupt forever, If you're dead, you, in fact, are dead forever. So to anyone who voted dead with money, you fell for it. That was an absolute troll and a joke. And if it's anything but 100%, you are a dumb shit. So I am telling you right now, to your face, you may have done the dumbest thing in a long time by voting dead with money. You fell for it. How dumb are you? My God, what is wrong with you people? What has this pandemic made you the stupidest people on the planet? The data silo, who he said, this person said a lot of dumb shit recently. I don't remember what. I just remember every time I'm seeing it, I'm like, what are you doing? I always wrinkle up my nose when I read it. Tries to twist the variables. I would rather work and have money in the bank in case I die, so my wife can have the proper funeral services in place. Yeah, don't bend my poll. The poll is simple. Alive and bankrupt, dead with money. What do you want? Kevin in Muskegon, who made that nice video for moms, thank you, Kevin, wrote, dead and rich is still dead. Thank you. This is not a hard question. No, it's not, but yet people didn't get it. I wrote, yes, exactly. Yet still, that many would choose dead. This is weird. Lonnie is another dum-dum who wants to twist my options. It's like, my poll, I did it. You make your own poll. No. This is what you need, Zane. Alive and broke or dead with money. Or third option, reality, 99% chance of being alive with money. Well, maybe not. But again, just vote one or the other. That one really got to me. This also got to me, actually even more. I was really surprised at this. The next poll that I put out, 335 of you voted on this. And I wrote, all right, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. I was going to read the wrong one. I wrote this. When there's a vaccine for the coronavirus, will you get vaccinated? Actually, 216 people voted on this, and I was surprised at these results. Nearly 70% said yes, which means 30%, actually 32%, said no way. What? 32% of you said no, you will not get vaccinated. And that I guess there's that 32% of you are anti-vaxxers. That's what you are. If you said no to the coronavirus vaccine, you're an idiot and a dumb shit, and you are an anti-vaxxer. Brian Wayne, with the dipshit comment on this, wrote, nope. Is the flu vaccine 100% effective? This won't be either. It's a vaccine, okay? It would be a vaccine to keep you from getting coronavirus. And by the way, did you do the research? Do you know this, you idiot? Kevin in Muskegon wrote again, my goodness, why not just run a poll? Do you want to die? Yes or no? And I think right now that 30% of you dummies would write, yeah, I want to die. You guys are idiots. TC and SL, troublemaker. No way I would trust a vaccine thrown together, but sadly those that work at hospitals will likely be forced to. Come on, you guys. This is so dumb. Okay, again, a little bit of patience is needed today because I had this show all set, ready to go, and then it crapped out at me, but I think we're still doing okay. All right, in the next bit that I want to talk to you about, I found a new thing to make that is absolutely fantastic, and it's helping us on this diet bet thing. Update on that, too. And when I went into making this yesterday, I actually made it in the kitchen. I was very skeptical of this concoction known as chaffle. Chaffle. I know that's combining waffle and something else. I thought chocolate, but no. It's called a chaffle. I'd never heard of this damn thing. I made it, and I need to tell you about it. Some of you are like, oh, I already know, Zane. I already know about the chaffle. I'm going to tell you about the chaffle. It's awesome. I also am going to talk to Dr. Lance Zeidema. He's part of Sheeran Chiropractic in West Michigan. He is the small business shout-out, Eric Zane Show podcast, small business shout-out of the day. First off, though, Green Clean Technologies. This group, this company, services the Midwest in getting data centers clean and sanitized so that the environment is dust-free for your IT. Another great business, kind of like new to the world. You see a lot of businesses, hospitals, small, medium, even large businesses have these data centers where there's like, hell, we used to have them at the radio stations where there would be all these servers and everything running, and the room is warm. You got to have an air conditioner blowing on it at all times. Well, if dust gets in those rooms, it murders the tech, and that means hard drives get fried. Green Clean Technologies make sure that does not happen. Okay, it's kind of like a janitorial service for high tech. Okay. Cleaning the data center is so important, and I'm not just talking about going through with a bottle of Fantastic and a paper towel. They offer cleaning services for data centers, critical environments, financial institutions, medical facilities, and so much more. Okay, greencleantechnologies.com. That's where you find them online for more information. greencleantechnologies.com. Thank you to them. You might be able to see them over my shoulder. I got signs all over the studio. Okay, not to mention more sponsors. A&E Heating and Cooling. Senor Martinez at aeheatingcooling.net. He brings us top-notch heating and cooling work, and, of course, forbidden Spanish that you know of, that you know very well. A&E Heating and Cooling at 616-516-8579. utilizing Comfort Maker heaters and air conditioners. And speaking of air conditioning, you can get $10 off your air conditioning tune-up when you call up Joe at A&E Heating and Cooling. If you did this last year with Joe, make sure you do it again this year, once a year, okay? I mean, you should see Joe twice a year. Once to tune up the air conditioning from the previous year, make sure everything's in top running order, and he's going to clean it. And then your furnace system when in the cold months. Save $10 when you mention the show. He's also going to save you 10% to Zane Show podcast listeners if you get a air purifier installed. Could be the iWave, could be the UV lights, which all works, breaks down components of dust and debris in the air and converts them to harmless oxygen and water. Get your air clean and save 10% with A&E Heating and Cooling. Thank you to Joe. All right. Time to bring him in. Dr. Lance Zeidema. Sheehan Chiropractic in West Michigan.
Hello.
Dr. Lance, how are you?
I am great, Eric. How are you?
Never better. It's good to hear your voice here on the podcast. We actually go way back, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so because you had at a time you worked at a different facility and you had started to adjust. My wife, your hands were all over her doing the adjustment thing, which by the way she needs again. She's like, "Oh, good. I'm glad you're talking to Dr. Lance. It's a good reminder. I gotta go see him." So now you have been open since the beginning of you were able to remain open during the pandemic. Isn't that correct, Dr. Lance?
Yes, we have been able to remain open. We're very limited hours. There's 2 doctors in the office, so one of us is working at a time instead of both of us working together, so we don't. We can't have people in our waiting room, so very, very limited, but we were able to stay open, and we were able to help people who need us essentially during these times.
Okay, so let me ask you this right away. I cracked my own neck. Right, wrong, bad, good. Am I going to have a stroke?
No, you are not going to have a stroke, but don't try to do it.
Now, I've been doing it since I was like a kid. It's such a habit. It's an unbelievable habit.
It is a habit for everyone, and I see it a lot in the office. But I always tell patients, let me do it. Don't try to do it on your own. If it happens while you're trying to rotate your neck right or left, it happens, but just don't try to do it.
Okay, so
plain and simple.
Now I noticed that I've seen videos of people who actually put their hands and they're like touching and are they trying to feel for a certain thing before they actually engage that motion? What's happening there?
So when we get ready to adjust someone, we're always feeling for restriction in motion. We're feeling for tender spots, trigger points, anything that's not. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel like the other side. So it's the palpation skills that we use to determine, along with X-ray most times, to determine what needs to be adjusted and what doesn't.
Wow. And, I know that you do wellness on a level that when a person reaches out to you, Dr. Lance, sometimes you might have someone who has chronic pain and your goal is to keep them from addictive medicines and from sitting still. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, our goal is to give patients their life back when they come in with chronic issues. I mean, we want to keep them off the addictive pain meds. We want to keep them out of surgery if we can. If they need a referral, I'm the first one to call the referral in for them. But it's trying to keep them sustained in their health to be able to move better and be able to go enjoy the things that they love doing, but their pain's inhibiting them to do.
How long have you been doing this, Dr. Lance?
8 years, going on 9.
Okay, so now if people in West Michigan want to find you, what do they do?
They can look a couple places. They can go to SheeranChiro.com. That brings us to our office page. They can look me up on Facebook at Dr. Z Chiro or Dr. Lance Zeidema. Or the office number is 616-457-5700. They call my amazing front desk staff and see if we can help them. That's the first step. We have to see if we're a good fit. we have to see if we can accomplish what the patient wants and help them get out of pain, help them sustain life, and help them get back to things they love doing, but pain has not allowed them to do. Or on the other side, if they're healthy, we help them stay healthy.
I slouch. Is that's a big no-no, right? Whenever you see somebody slouching, you're like, oh, come on, sit up straight.
Well, I saw you in your podcast this morning as we were getting into this, and that posture wasn't the best. So I assume we should be getting a phone call from you as well.
Yeah, I can feel it too. Whenever I slouch, I like. Have you seen these devices that they? There's a couple of things. There's like a strap setup you can put on that actually helps you sit up straight, and then there's a couple other things. Gimmicky. Do you recommend anything like that?
We have some posture devices in our office that are backed by research. There's a lot of traction devices. There's a lot of shoulder shirts, things that pull your shoulder back. They all can help. But it's all what's the level of therapeutic benefit to some of these gimmicky of devices that you can find on Amazon. So it's all in good. You just have to figure out what one works for you, and if you're actually, because sometimes it's not good to use. So you all have to just be careful.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I know one person in particular who wants to see you ASAP, and that is Diana. She is just, she's constantly she's always talking about you. So I think I think it won't be too long. I'm glad you're able to stay open. I hope you get through this just like everybody else, and I will talk to you down the road. How does that sound, Dr. Lance?
Yes, sir. I appreciate your time, Eric, and I look forward to seeing you and your wife soon, hopefully when we can get out of this and go grab some lunch.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Dr. Lance. Talk to you down the road.
Thanks, Eric. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Dr. Lance Zeidema, that is part of Sheeran Chiropractic in West Michigan. They are at 44th and Kennewa in Granville, Michigan. All right. So you're like, Zane, what the hell are you talking about? A chaffle. What is that? And that was what I asked too. This diet bet has been going on since last week Monday. So we are just about a weekend. Well, I guess it would be a week. Last week Monday we started, and I'm getting a little bit more accustomed to the eating. I still think I eat actually too much. I haven't eaten sugar. Occasionally, I'll have a nibble, just a little nibble here and there, maybe like a square of a chocolate bar just to kind of, but for the most part, doing pretty well on the whole keto thing, which I know works. I lost a ton of weight, ton of fat, I should say, when I did that the last time. But so it's getting, the cravings are less intense. So Diana says to me, yeah, we got to try this, and I've lost about 4 pounds. Diana's lost more than me. I can see it in her face right away. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can absolutely see that. And so I hope y'all are doing okay. We got a ton of people that are in the diet bets. This is great. We got to the end of the month to lose our 4%. Truth be told, I think Diana's there now. All she has to do is keep the car between the lines. I think all told, I have to lose like 7 pounds or something like that for it to be 4% of my weight. But so all right, there you go. But she's like, so this thing called a chaffle, and you whip it up, and people are using these to just eat like a regular waffle, or they even have various recipes, and you can use it like a bun for a hamburger, because a lot of times when I'm eating a hamburger, I like the idea of sandwich form. That's key. And so, what's not cutting it is when I take like lettuce and you use the lettuce as the bun, and it's, it's just lacking something. I need something with a little bit more oomph behind it. So she's like, how about this chaffle? I'm like, well, this is crazy. What are the ingredients? She goes, all right, for this chaffle, here's the ingredients. 1 egg, put it in a bowl. A little less than a 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, a couple of teaspoons of some sweetener. It's weird. It's like extract from a mango. or something like that. It's expensive for a pouch of it. It's like $7-8. And and she had it. So I put that in there. And then like a tablespoon of vanilla extract. There might have been something else. So it's all sitting there, and it's in the bowl, and it's like, I go, well, this is even going to be hard to make it into a mix. How do you get a whisk? Start whisking this stuff up, and it becomes batter-like, okay? So we have this little teeny waffle maker. Just makes one waffle about yay big, the size of like an Eggo waffle. Sprayed some nonstick stuff on it. Heated that thing up. Poured the chaffle mix in it. And I'm like, no way. No way. No how. Close the thing and wait. Then it's like Harry Potter walked into the room. He said, Magnifico Delicioso. Voila! And then, like 2 minutes later, there it is. And it's gotten thick. It's grown thick. I don't know if that's the egg doing its thing, going all fluffy on it. I still don't know what the cheese was for, because you could not taste the cheese. But I pop it out. It pops out perfectly. It looks like I bought it at a store or a restaurant. And then I give it to Diana. And she put a little butter on it, cut into this thing, and I can't wait to go have another one. Oh, my gosh. Keto-friendly, protein-rich, no sugar. It's awesome. And then I holy shit, there's like thousands of these recipes of these different chaffles. Oh, hit it out of the park. Hit it out of the park. You must do this. Just search chaffle, CHAFFLE recipes. And there's 89 billion of these from really, these people need to get Nobel Peace Prizes who are creating these concoctions. What a ridiculously power-packed food that is. And then there's one you can make that they swear to God, and I haven't tried it, is white bread. Tastes just like white bread. So you take your white bread and you make a couple of chaffles, or not. You take your batter, make a couple of white bread chaffles. I hate saying the word, by the way. And then you can put a burger on one chaffle side, and then a slice of what do you call that? Not asparagus, avocado on there, and then tomato and lettuce, and some mustard and some mayonnaise, and you are freaking kicking ass. Yes! I'm going to spend the rest of the day today having chaffle experiments. God, I want to do a cooking show. I just don't have the means to do it. Cooking shows are fine, but I don't want to edit the video. Too much work. Actually, I should just send it off to Pellerito. Pellerito, I'm going to shoot a cooking video, and then you edit the shit out of it. You make it look fantastic. Are you down for that, Pellerito? I know you are. You always want to help me. You're one of the sweetest souls that's ever walked God's green earth. You're always like, give me something to do, Eric. Pellerito, kind of like my own executive producer. You must try it. Great, great food. And I was like, there's no way this is going to work. This is going to taste like shit. It does not taste like shit. Yes! Okay. Coming up next, we must get into Tom Segura. I saw that Stu talked about this on the Elemento podcast yesterday. It might have been his Patreon. Stu has a daily Patreon, by the way. Check it out. Well worth it. And I'm anxious to hear what Stu says about this, but oh boy, Tom Segura went hard at pro wrestling fans. Hard. I've got the audio. You must hear it. It comes up next. Patreon, I'm on Patreon too, and here's what's up. This week, I don't yet have a date, damn it. You know what? I'm gonna shoot for Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening, I am shooting for Dear Meathead, Meathead's virtual meetup on Patreon, okay? So if you're on Patreon, you can be part of it. All you have to do is send me an email, and then I'll send you an invite. So if you're already a Patreon member, you're part of Meathead's virtual meetup. Just have access to Zoom, download Zoom, and I will invite you, okay? So let's tentatively put it Wednesday at 6 p.m., okay? I'm writing it down. Wednesday, 6 p.m., Meathead's virtual meetup. You will see and hear Dad. Patreon only. All you got to do is sign up on Patreon and then shoot me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and says, hey, I'm new to Patreon. I want to be with your dad. So and this might be the only one of these that we do because he's a little like, I am very busy. Gardening season has begun. And Dad, how can you be busy? I am shut up, guy. I will do one Meathead virtual meet down. So there you go. So we got one for sure. I'm going to try to convince him that we can do more than that. Comes up Wednesday. It's on Patreon only. So sign up on Patreon. Yeah, I don't care if you only sign up for $5 a month. You're in. Don't wait. Do it today while you're thinking about it. How about it? The Kent County Health Department, 616-632-7200. If you've been struggling to make ends meet during this pandemic, we're looking at, 15 to 20% unemployment. It's awful. You might need a little help feeding your family. Well, fortunately, there's tons of food banks and churches that are, you just pull up and get the food. WIC is something I want you to utilize as well. 616-632-7200 for the Kent County Health Department. Please call them up. The managed IT service provider for the show is Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550 for them. They are awesome. If you are have a series of, if your workers are at home and they have a series of mishaps with their own IT as they're working from home with their own setup, well, what are you going to do? You need to be able to have an IT department at your disposal, okay? They are boots on the ground. They can work remotely. Blue Frost IT, the number one voted managed IT service provider in all of West Michigan. 616-200-8550. Let them diagnose your problem, okay? Thank you to Blue Frost IT. Now, this. Look, when it comes to comedians, I am, there is no cancel culture. Nobody deserves to be canceled because of their act, what they say. Fuck. This isn't that funny because I think that he ran out of funny things to say in the bit. I'm laughing more at how stupid it is. Comedian Tom Segura, who's a great comic. He's got this podcast. It's very popular called, I think it's called Your Mom's House or something like that, or Let's Go See Mom. He does it with his wife. And, it's typical podcast fare. You go on there, you say whatever the fuck you want. You tell people to go to hell. You better be funny. Do some funny shit. Crack up. And that's it. Great job. But he decided to go after wrestling fan. Now, let me just say, he says the R word here. He says retarded and you're a retard. He says it in its worst forms. And, I won't even use it. I used it because he used it. And, but I would never, ever, I would be scared to death if I used that. Because if I said that, man, people would kick my ass. Can you imagine if I did that? You people would kill me. You would not take that. That's N-word light, I think. I think in the hierarchy of bad words, that's just a terrible idea to use them. Is the N-word is the top of that. And I think R might have surpassed See You Next Tuesday in the rankings. Like if you did things you can't say, bracketology, like Stu likes to do, I think N-word is a hard and fast number one and is perpetually winning every year in the brackets. But if you had R-word going up against See You Next Tuesday, I think the majority of people would pick R-word in that bracket. So it's kind of icky, and he uses it real easily. Whatever. Should he be canceled for that? Fuck no. Of course not. But you're going to get a lot of heat. So he went hard in that regard. And then the other thing is his take on Wrestling Fan is pretty shitty. He runs out of funny things to say. It isn't funny. What he says, and for a guy who is a funny guy, his impression of Wrestling Fan is just shitty. It's almost, I've been down this road where you run out of comedy to say, you run out of funny things to say, and you kind of, that's when I say something like, yeah, I bet your home was made out of toothpicks. That's what's happening there. You don't have anything to say, and you're kind of thinking as you're trying to make it up as you go along, and you can't, and it sucks, and everybody laughs at you, makes fun of you. Kind of run out of steam. Happens all the damn time, especially when you're ranting. So that happens here. And his take also is just stupid because when it comes to wrestling, the one thing no one does these days when they're taking a run at wrestling and Wrestling Fan is whether or not it's fake, okay? I have my own perspective on wrestling, which I'll give to you in a second. But first, this is the moment as it happened on Tom Segura's podcast with his ugly wife.
An adult watching Puppy Dog Pals.
So many guys who love wrestling. I think wrestling is for fucking retards, but
It is.
But so many people,
So many people
it is
love
the
it.
fucking stupidest shit. And I think
You saw my face. I cringed when he said that. It just rings a little too harsh for me. I just can't get behind. I can't fucking get behind that, Tom, you fucking asshole.
I think wrestling is for fucking retards, but
It is.
But so many people,
So many people
it is
love
the
it.
fucking stupidest shit. And I think you're a fucking tool. If you're like,
Yeah.
hey man, it's not fake, it's fucking
It's
fake,
fake.
and you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But
Grow up.
they're not real fights. These are just stunt people.
But imagine
And the fact that like guys are like, man, did you see the Undertaker reaction?
that's who he loved. He liked Undertaker.
Jesus
and
Christ.
he made me go to a WWE event in LA when
It's
I was
pathetic. It's pathetic.
I'll
You're
tell
a
you what
pathetic
though.
person.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty fun.
What was?
The event. Going to a live wrestling.
Yeah, so's the Special
Oops.
Olympics. It's a fun thing to go
Hold on a second
But-
here.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty fun.
What was?
The event. Going to a live wrestling.
Yeah, so's the Special Olympics. It's a fun thing to go to, but
Man,
it's not
he's
real.
gonna get killed by the usual suspects on that.
It's not a real competition.
Of course not. But some people do. The people who think it's real, they are our work.
How do people like this to stay relevant? You know, I mean, hell, I'm squeamish when I go out on a limb, either on a political take or a rant like that, and then I get all sorts of blowback. I start to question that. How do you say shit like that? And then when you're laying in bed, not feel bad about it. Oh fuck, it's too much for me. I can't do it.
Definitely.
They're completely retarded.
Yeah. It's for children. It's not for. But when it's a male adult.
If you're over 11 and you're like, you see SmackDown last night?
This is where his rant loses steam.
Jesus Christ.
That's how this guy was, and he knew all of them. And
And then he
stories.
tagged in his partner, and then they grabbed a chair. Man, I never thought we would see the day
Yeah, I know.
that the Bass Brothers would hold the belt. What the fuck is wrong with
Wait,
you?
and then he would tell me the saga. He's like, and then Vince McMahon, he's the bad guy, and Vince owned the whatever. And I'm
No,
like,
are
you kidding? With
that's
this
how
shit?
the ads for wrestling should be. It should be like WWE. This is for diminished capacity. That should be their tag for the fucking wrestling shit.
We uneducated.
Jesus Christ. It's
All right.
not a real sport.
They're so dumb.
Ooh. Okay, so they went hard. Oh, did they go hard? Fuck. No, man. I mean, fuck. No. Segura shouldn't be canceled. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it might be somewhat some of these platforms that they sided with, and I don't know if he's a Twitter guy or a Facebook guy or he uses his own platform like Alex Jones or something like that, but that type of talk can get you banned. And that is, oh boy, that gets even more tricky. I would not have gone that hard on Wrestling Fan. There is no way, no how. I have this vibe about Wrestling Fan. If it's on, I might even stop when I'm searching just to see what type of craziness is going on there. But no one in their right mind is having the argument about is it fake or is it real. That was like 30 years ago, you dumb fuck. Everybody knows it's fake. This is what wrestling is. This is the equivalent of watching like a movie with acting skills of actors who are like in B and C list films. These aren't professional actors, but it is a story. I consider it to be a play with fake fighting. Okay. And there's a storyline there, and a storyline is all you need. That's all people do for a living is tell stories. If you can tell a story and it happens to have a physical component to it, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter at that point. There's nothing different between pro wrestling storylines and comic book literature. Both things that I'm not into anymore, but I get it. I understand what's going on there, and I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. I have many, many dear friends and people that I respect who love wrestling, and I'm always like, oh, come on, man, what are you serious? And that's about as far of hard of a run that I will take at them, because they're great, they're good people, and Segura's in a fucking shit show now after, especially the that fucking language he used made me cringe. I didn't like it. And the take wasn't very good for a well-respected comedian. That wasn't funny. I mean, at the end of the day, when you get down to it, what you said, I mean, if it had been funny, because I've heard comedians do shit that I'm like, oh, no, you're going hard. You're probably going to take a lot of heat for it. But, boy, was that fucking funny. But that just wasn't funny. At all. And the wife, I don't know who the fuck she is. Most people don't even know who these two are. Not everybody, Tom Segura is not a household name. There's only a handful of people in comedy who are an absolute household name. Gigantic in their industry. He's one of these mid-level guys who does terrific, but it's not like, some of the enormous names in comedy that have been in the past and are still there to this day. Still very popular, don't get me wrong, but you're going to get a lot of people that don't even know who the fuck he is. And the wife, I have no idea. She looks like fucking Elton John wearing a wig. I have no idea who she is. This person, Jason Solomon, wrote, I have no idea who this guy is or the lady next to him is, but the fact that we still have people shouting, it's not real right in 2020 tells me all I need to know. This person is an actual wrestler. I don't know who the fuck he is. Nick Namath. He actually wrote, hi, Tom, I'm a big fan of both of you. He's a wrestler. He's been a wrestler for years. Both you and Christina P. I'm a former collegiate wrestler. I'm now a pro wrestler, a lifelong wrestling fan. I've been with WWE for 15 years now. And we are the epitome of sports entertainment. I like how that dumb bitch wife was like, yeah, I had a great time at the event. But the stupid whore then in the next sentence talks about, yeah, but you're a fucking idiot if you watch it. What a stupid bitch she is. I'm not a fan of Segura and his dumb bitch wife. There are villains, heroes, undertakers, superheroes, and everything in between for children and adults of all walks of life. We are just like any TV show, movie, and even podcast, except our risks are much more real. Sans Tom Cruise hanging onto the outside of Elon Musk's spaceship. I'm extremely proud of the incredible work wrestlers continue to put in every day, and I'm pleased with our product, usually. I will assume this is a comedic take from someone having fun. If not, I am always willing to discuss the professional wrestling business at any length, any time, and any place. So dude kept his cool. As a fan, I wonder how Segura responds to this. And it goes back and forth, a little bit more heat. So some real heat for Segura on this. Yeah, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Not a fan. All right, as I talked about earlier on the show, I ran into a couple of little snafus where the podcast fried on me. So I have to scramble to come up with my stories again, but I have it here. The latest story here is about a classic rock legend, Brian May. And last time we talked about Brian May, he was having a temper tantrum because some fan was shooting a. Well, no, I take it back. It was a cameraman who from a TV station who was shooting a video of him, and Brian May got all bent out of shape. And then he said, "Hey man, look, I'm interacting with a fan. Turn off the camera." I'm like, that's always weird. It's like, come on, you're a celebrity, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, dude. Come on. And so the dude puts down the camera and then he picks up his cell phone and starts shooting video. And fucking May slapped the shit out of him, and the cell phone goes flying. That has nothing to do with this, but that's just the last time we talked to him. May was badly injured. And you see a video or an Instagram post of him in the hospital wearing a mask. He looks crazy because his big giant poof of white hair is like the mask is like creating it to make him look like the fucking scientist in Back to the Future. He doesn't trim his eyebrows, so he looks like shit. It's a combination of Back to the Future guy and Andy Rooney. May, you're thinking, oh no, he's got COVID-19. He's in the hospital. No. He's wearing the mask because of COVID-19, but there's no COVID issue here. Other end of his body. Brian May had to post on Instagram that he is not going to be available for any type. He's going to be laying low for a long time. No type of interaction with his fans. He's normally very active on Instagram, but he is in absolute horrible pain. In a tragic gardening accident, not making it up, he ripped his asshole. It just sounds ridiculous, but he actually managed, as he put it, to rip his asshole to shreds in a moment of over-enthusiastic gardening. I don't know. I mean, here you have the band Queen, and, when Freddie Mercury, gay man, died, they replaced him with another gay man, Adam Lambert. So it makes you wonder. Probably not. I don't think they were having very vigorous butt sex, nor do I think Brian May is into butt sex. I don't know. He might be. No reason to think that any of that is true. But May says, yeah, I was in the garden and I actually managed to rip my gluteus maximus to shreds. What the fuck were you doing? How could that? We need more details on this. Let me actually go to the post. He writes, reality check. No, the virus didn't get me. Thank God. Hope you're all keeping extra safe. A decision to relax controls doesn't suddenly make the danger go away. But me, yes, I've been quiet. Reason, as well as getting overstretched and harassed by too many demands. Maybe he did have an interaction with Adam Lambert with the overstretched crack. I managed to rip my gluteus maximus to shreds in a moment of over-enthusiastic gardening. So suddenly I find myself in a hospital getting scanned to find out exactly how much I've actually damaged myself. Turns out I did a thorough job. This a couple of days ago. I won't be able to walk for quite some time or sleep without a lot of assistance because the pain is relentless. So, folks, I need to go dark for a while, getting some complete rest at home. You ever rip your ass? Please don't send me sympathy. I just need some healing silence for a while. I'll be back, but I need the complete break, okay? Thanks. Take care out there. Brian. I wonder if he's updated his ass healing since then. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, my God. He might have. I think he might actually be back to playing guitar already. By the way, rest in peace, Little Richard, the king of rock and roll. There's only a handful of people that can be declared the king of rock and roll. There's a few suspects. Little Richard is one of them. Not Elvis, Little Richard. Elvis stole it from Little Richard. That's a fact. Little Richard, Chuck Berry, maybe some of those old-time blues guys. Who else died? There was 3 because Jerry Stiller died overnight. You know, once you have the first one die, I forgot. Who was the first one? Somebody died. Damn it. Maybe an actor? One died, and then Little Richard died. And then everybody starts tweeting out, uh-oh, who's number 3? Who's number 3? Jerry frickin' Stiller. Airing of the grievances. Festivus. He croaked overnight. I think he was like 95 years old. Great, great character. Funny, funny dude. Rest in peace, Stiller. So now you got Jerry Stiller up there with Little Richard. Tutti Frutti, Good Golly Miss Molly, Long Tall Sally. And the nameless guy is, Roy Horn. Oh, shit, yes. Oh, fucking A. Roy got mauled by a great big kitty. So the story changed because back in the day, it was that the tiger bit the shit out of him and dragged him off stage, and he had a stroke because of the blood loss. Then I think the story changed that no. Roy had a stroke, and then because of the tiger thought he was attacking him because of the stroke, like he starts stroking out in front of the tiger, then the tiger attacked him. So I don't know. I've heard both sides of that. All I know is that Siegfried and Roy, they go on stage and make shit disappear. I don't know. It's just fantastic. These two met years ago, Siegfried and Roy, and then I think one taught the other one a magic trick, and I think that magic trick was hide the salami. And, well, those two have been making the salami disappear in between them for years. So this is what they do all day. Siegfried and Roy spend the greater part of the day making the salami disappear, and then they go on stage and make the elephant disappear, get fat stacks of cash, and then more salami hiding. Everything's good. Everything's going great. Then all of a sudden the tiger goes ape shit, and now the salami hiding is not nearly as much fun. No more hiding. So nothing gets hidden for the day that the tiger goes bananas. No more salamis. No more elephants get hidden. Fast forward over the weekend. Dude dies of COVID-19. Rest in peace, Roy. You might be able to play hide the salami with Little Richard. The idea of him, I mean, he was very, there was a lot of androgyny with Little Richard, this type of vibe that Little Richard gave off. So maybe something's happening there. I'm not sure. Jerry Stiller, he's an older guy. He's probably making jokes about it and saying they're disgusting and playing hide the salami, but I'm not sure. So rest in peace to those 3 bastards. Great lives. Y'all had a great life. All right. I got more for you. Plenty more to talk about. I haven't even gotten to this shit show that is Plandemic. I've got T-shirts available at EricZaneShow.com. I've got new styles being made. I have to get a photographer up here to take a picture of one of me in the fear bunker. I called upon my friends who have military careers and getting all this gear, and I'm going to have like all this like fucking, a tactical gear on, like you might see one of those Michigan militia pieces of shit at the Capitol, and a helmet and a fucking rifle or shotgun here in the fear bunker with the dogs. And then I'm going to get that picture taken. We're going to put that on a T-shirt. I've also got some other ideas. If you have any ideas for a T-shirt, things that you would like to see on a T-shirt, as you know, I love your ideas. A lot of your ideas make it to the podcast and in T-shirt form. Email them to me, Eric@EricZaneShow.com. Please buy a T-shirt, $24.95 with tax. I'm sorry, with shipping. So that's what you pay. It says $24.95. That's what you pay. TC Paintball, the gift card giveaway. I want to remind you again about this. I'm giving away a $100 TC Paintball gift card. All you have to do is send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and you're in the running. The drawing is Friday. Don't miss out on this. Do it right now. eric@ericzaneshow.com. I can only take an email. Subject line, paintball giveaway. TC Paintball, you can find them at tcpaintballgr.com. That's where you can buy your paintball in advance with that gift card. Rick has zero income coming in because no one can play paintball because of the pandemic. Of all my businesses, his is taking it on the chin quite hard. tcpaintballgr.com or call Rick at 616-249-8227. If you want, buy a gift card for a friend of yours who loves paintball, or if you like playing paintball with me, buy it in advance. It's already $35 an event, so that'll get you virtually 3 of them. All right. Thank you to Rick. I love what Terrytown RV is doing to sell RVs. You go to their website, terrytownrv.com. Let's say you're a new family and you don't have a ton of dough. You want to spend about, $170 a month on a new travel trailer. And you see one online at terrytownrv.com that's got the TV on the outside of it with the speakers, the electric awning. It's got a slide that comes out, a master bedroom, a nice bath with a shower in it, bunks for the kids, a living room with a TV, and a fireplace. And you want that so bad, but you're like, I can't afford that. You call up Terrytown, they go, no, man, we can get you into that for about $160 a month. What do you say? Well, I need to see it. What do I do? There's a pandemic. Folks at Terrytown go, all right, we're going to haul it over to the front of the property on Division between 68th and 76th. You just show up and walk through it. Nobody will be there. Well, we'll have a salesperson there, but there'll be social distance, mask, gloves, the whole 9 yards. Oh, my God, that's how they're doing it. Well, yeah, but we want to look at this one too. Well, then we'll put 2 of them out there for you. Whatever you want. They have adapted the way they're selling campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, RVs at Terrytown RV. Our call for an appointment, 616-236-2754. They are awesome. That is awesome. Fantastic way of doing business. All right, this day in Corona. I got my eye on Georgia. They opened up, remember, early. President said this is a stupid idea. They're not seeing a spike. This could be a template for the rest of the country. Maybe they're right. They are. Like I said, there's no manual to this. So all you dumb shit armchair quarterbacks are sitting there saying, this is the way it should be. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up. Nobody knows what they're talking about. We're just throwing shit at the wall trying to see if it sticks. You sitting there being a drama queen bitch doesn't make it any better, so shut the fuck up. Today, though, this poor son of a bitch on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, all he wants to do is open up the Polar Cave. That is his ice cream shop. So this dude decides, all right, open. I'm going to treat it like a restaurant. You got to order your Blizzard or your Flurry in advance, 1 hour, and it's waiting for you. Okay, I can live with that. If I'm going to order 3 cones and a milkshake, order sent at 6 p.m., I'll be there at 7. You get there, boom, they're on top of it. Dude's killing it, He's done it. Well, a few people show up, and they want to order right there. Sorry, we're not doing that. This is the way we're adapting the way we're doing businesses like this. Is the only way to get it done. Now, you there's no way. How is that a problem? I mean, at the worst, you're like, oh, shit. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Well, now I know. And then you leave and do it that way or come back another day, right? That's all you can do. The one thing I know you can't do is be a cocksucker. So a few assholes ruined it for everybody. And, I'm going to let this story tell itself. about what would happen at this poor ice cream shop, this poor guy's ice cream shop in Massachusetts. Listen to this
And on
shit.
Cape Cod, one ice cream shop finally decided to test out a to-go option under rules that are already allowed for restaurants.
The owner opened for just one day, but says he's closing again after his workers were yelled at by a number of impatient, angry customers. This comes as small businesses are trying to open back up safely.
Boston 25 News reporter Kirsten Glavin explains what happened at that shop in Mashpee.
Normally, ice cream puts a smile on people's faces, but the owner here at this shop says things got so ugly that one of
You can always tell when someone's wearing a mask.
his best employees quit. After one day of opening, they're now closing back down, only serving a limited number of customers until he says he can figure this whole thing out. It was meant to be a quiet opening at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor in Mashpee to kick off Mother's Day weekend. The owner has been able to open up under restaurant guidelines, but wanted to wait until he felt it was safe for everyone. Still, Friday was anything but business as usual.
One of my best workers quit yesterday.
Okay, classic accent, but it sounds weird behind the mask. This is classic Massachusetts accent.
At the end of her shift, she stuck it through the shift. But the words she was called and the language, you
Wait, it sounds British to me.
wouldn't even say it in a men's locker room. And to say it to a 17-year-old kid, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Kyle Lawrence says they posted online that all orders must be placed an hour in advance, but he claims not everyone listened and instead took their anger out on his employees when they got busy.
Now I open the doors to a whole new world with gloves and masks and we running around like chickens. But people don't, they're like, where's my ice cream? I'm not a trauma center, it's ice cream.
The shop is now
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a combination of British and Massachusetts.
closed to the general public and is doing limited car deliveries until Lawrence says he can figure out a new plan.
People have forgotten how to treat other human beings in the 6 or 7 weeks that they've been confined to their homes. They have no clue how to respect other human beings.
This ice cream parlor is one of many small businesses now trying to figure out how to reopen from a pandemic shutdown while dealing with customers who don't always choose to follow new guidelines. He says everyone should start with patience and kindness.
We're not claiming that we know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing, but we're giving it a shot.
The owner here says his goal is to eventually open back up to everybody, but in terms of how he's going to do that, it's still unclear. He does say that he plans to post updates to his Facebook page, which we have a link to on our website, boston25news.com. Reporting in Mashpee, Kirsten Glavin, Boston 25 News.
To me, I think you're better off. First thing you do when you open up is hire a guard. Actually, hire someone to be a buffer between you and the workers. I think that is key. You know, I mean, between stories of a dollar store security guard getting shot dead and just the general asshole-ish with the world today, that you have made this so much worse, you assholes. With you spreading your horse shit on Facebook and acting like a dick and you know, I mean, when I hear stories about the stores like Menards nearby where they got an armed guard there standing there, I mean, seriously, that's what you need now because people are such idiots. And this poor son of a bitch, something as simple as ice cream, gets ruined by people who are just so incredibly rude. And this poor guy, a young kid, gets treated like shit, ends up storming away crying, upset. And this guy has to pick up the pieces. My God. I got so pissed off yesterday with a Facebook post on Plandemic that I almost reached out to the idiot who has propagated it. I know this person from for years, and it bummed me out. It really did, because Plandemic is the biggest scam there is, catering to all of the marginalized people who think that something is wrong and this is all a conspiracy, and it fuels that fire. And I'm going to get to that in a second. NPR story has easily debunked Plandemic, and yet so many assholes are spreading this as it's like a real thing. I cannot wait to talk about that next. It segues nicely into it. But just slow your freaking roll. My God. Smile on your face. People can tell when you're smiling or not smiling underneath that mask. If you would just take a little care and be a little bit more respectful, it would be so much easier to get things done. Damn it. Actually, I want to talk about the Plandemic thing right now. So, Plandemic hit over this, I think it was sometime last week. You have a filmmaker making a 27-minute documentary similar to like, all the stupid shits that bought the loose change video about 9/11, beat it inside job or whatever it was, or anything of that nature. You're going to see predatory people who try to take advantage of the scenario and build that false narrative that affects this percentage of people who are just looking for something to punch a hole into the story of COVID-19. So some piece of shit makes a 26-minute video called Plandemic, and it catches fire on social media. Well, the usual places like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter are shutting it down. It's violating their agreement that the user has not to post misinformation about COVID-19. That's a thing. You get caught doing that, they're going to shut you down, and that's it. So they have their own source for it, I guess their own platform, which is similar to what pieces of shit like Alex Jones do. They have their own platform. Like if I lost Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I would just put it on my own server, and then it would be limited, but you could see it. That's what they're doing now with this, which that's fine. Yeah, I don't give a shit if you do that with Plandemic. But it is a complete myth. It's a dumpster fire about how this whole thing is a hoax and a conspiracy, and that has fueled the idiots. I saw one post by a Facebook friend of mine who is kind of a dipshit who said, "Oh, see? If even half of this is true, then we're in a world of hurt. Can you believe this?" And it's like, you idiot. You didn't even do 1 second of research about who the fuck is putting this out. Talk about an absolute con job. While the video, according to the NPR article has said it's been viewed millions of times, being replaced as quickly as, being shut down as quickly as they can be put up. A filmmaker by the name of Mickey Willis, that's a dude, conducts an uncritical interview with this physician named Judy Mikovits. She is so discredited by the entire medical community. Hell, everybody has discredited Judy Mikovits. Dr. Lance, the chiropractor, is has more of an authority about COVID-19 than Judy Mikovits is. Okay? She's been widely discredited as a quack for years and a downright criminal. In the film, Willis refers to this whore Mikovits as, quote, one of the most accomplished scientists of her generation. The NPR article says, never heard of her? You're not alone. Side note, do you have friends that send you these horseshit videos from doctors that are wearing scrubs shot on a cell phone, and it's in like a break room, not poorly mic'd, poorly lit, and it says, breaking news, doctor says COVID is hoax. And then it's propagated by like Patriot News, Don't Tread on Me, Minuteman.com. It's bullshit. That's what that is. And then if you then copy and say, see, you're an asshole. Okay? You're getting bullshit being spoon-fed to you by stupid people is what that is, who want you to spread this for their own profit. You're falling for it. She's like this. Not heard of her. If you've never heard of her, you're not alone. Two prominent scientists with backgrounds in AIDS research and infectious diseases who asked not to be identified over concerns of facing backlash from idiots, told NPR that they had never heard of her. If you're aware of Mikovits before this week, it's probably for 2 books she published with co-author Kent Heckenlively, one in 2017 and another last month. Heckenlively also has written a book himself espousing the discredited link between autism and the vaccines. You might also know Mikovits for her central role in a pair of scientific controversies. One involves a paper she co-authored in 2009 that was published in the journal Science. And the other concerns allegations she stole notebooks and a laptop from a lab. In the 2009 paper, Mikovits is among 13 researchers who claim to have found a mouse retrovirus may contribute to chronic fatigue syndrome. In the video, filmmaker Willis says the paper sent shockwaves through the scientific community as it revealed the common use of animal and human fetal tissues were unleashing devastating plagues of chronic diseases. However, 2 years after its publication, the paper was retracted by the authors, an unusual occurrence in peer-reviewed scientific journal. Science wrote at the time that multiple laboratories, including those of the original authors, have failed to reliably detect the mouse retrovirus in chronic fatigue syndrome patients. In addition, there is evidence of poor quality control in a number of scientific experiments in the report. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, but maybe not. No, that's all huge. That's huge shit. When you are discredited by other doctors who normally don't do that in these scientific journals, because, it's kind of like it could come back to haunt them later on. That's enormous, okay? Doctors tend to stick together. But when they throw her under the bus, that has real weight to it. So she's going into this as a discredited and maligned researcher / physician. The one person you don't want to hear about the pandemic of this generation in 100 years, the biggest thing in 100 years, killing people, the one person you can't hear from is Mikovits. You don't want to hear from her. And then the second controversy was the year the paper was retracted involved Mikovits being fired from a research laboratory because she was stealing shit and proprietary information. Who knows what that was related to? I think it actually had to do with the original paper that she wrote that was discredited. In Plandemic, Mikovits relates her arrest over the incident, saying she was held in jail without charges. I was called a fugitive from justice. She then says, speaking as footage of what appears, she's talking and they're showing footage of a SWAT team in the film Plandemic executing a nighttime raid, playing over her words. And she says, no warrant. They literally drugged me out of the house. Our neighbors were looking at what's going on here. This all happens in this shit show film Plandemic. SWAT team footage. She says she's dragged out by the hair. It's terrible. But here's what really happened. Mikovits was arrested in California as a fugitive on a warrant issued by police from the University of Nevada, Reno, where she stole the shit. According to the local news KRNV television, she turned herself in to the cops in Reno. She walked in and said, all right, let's get it over with. There was no raid. She's a lying whore. Fuck. That's huge. So she's discredited by the entire science community. She steals from a lab, gets fired from the lab, says because of the stealing, which she admitted to, was raided in the middle of the night while showing SWAT team footage on this show, Plandemic, which is a scam. But then what really happened is she turned her fucking self in. What the fuck? The television station's report makes it clear that a 2-count criminal complaint was filed against her for possession of stolen property and for unlawfully taking computer data and equipment. Both are felonies. She claims in that video that those things were planted in her home. So, knowing that right there is such an enormous red flag. Why would you take anything that this bitch says as gospel concerning the pandemic? So it's widely debunked. In one of her claims, She perceives professional slights or conflicts that she attributes to various high-profile individuals who have become even more prominent in recent weeks because of the COVID-19. She throws Dr. Anthony Fauci under the bus. Now, Fauci has raised a red flag about her or said things that were considered to be, that are, as they describe it, professional slights. But she attributes them to be much more malicious. She says Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, since 1984, by the way, and Dr. Robert Redford, the current director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and Dr. Robert Gallo, an AIDS pioneer who is now director of the Institute of Human Virology and scientific director of the Global Virus Network, that she threw them all under the bus, or they threw her all under the bus, and they slandered her. In an article originally published in 2018, Snopes reported on a claim by Mikovits that Fauci sent an email that, quote, threatened her with arrest if she visited the National Institute of Health to participate in a study to validate that chronic fatigue research. Fauci said, I have no idea what she is talking about. I can categorically state that I have never sent such an email. Yeah, he sounds like my Bernie Sanders. Fauci told Snopes, I would never make such a statement in an email that anyone would, quote, be able to would be immediately arrested if they stepped on foot on National Institute of Health property. He says I would never, ever do that. There's more to it. I'll link it up. But this is a absolute money grab and a fame grab by Mickey Willis and Judy Mikovits. Banish it from your brain. Don't believe a word of it going forward. There's a lot of bullshit out there, folks. At the end of the day, they're going to try to trick you. The only thing you need to know is that we're doing our best trying to keep people safe. People are going back to work slowly. You may not like it, but that's the way it is. That's a reality. That's a fact. We're going to be working with masks and with social distancing for a long time until there's a vaccine. And then after that terrible result on my Twitter poll, I couldn't believe it, 32% of you said you won't get the vaccine. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. As always, I want your feedback. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on this or any of the stuff I've talked about. I'll argue with you till the cows come home. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong on Plandemic. Let it go. Great fun on Cameo over the weekend. I got one more story for you. It's about a lady from Grand Rapids who's, boy, you won't argue with a stewardess on a plane anymore after you hear this story. Had great fun doing cameos for the moms. I love that. I did get a couple that said, hey, man, I need you. It was like, some were like, hey, this would be fun. But I got a couple that I think I actually saved it for them. Two in particular were like, oh, man, I screwed up. Yeah, hey, man, I screwed up. And I think I saved it for them. If you want in, cameo.com/Eric Zane. For birthday, kid graduating, whatever, losing, I can't even talk. Congratulations on something fantastic in their life, marriage. Oh, it's all good. And I can make it as sweet or as mean as you want. Just tell me the direction you want it to go, and I will do it. You need proof, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane, either on the mobile app or the desktop. All right. Two more terrific sponsors that have adapted their business model to make it happen. By the way, I am way disappointed that my head is blocking the Green Clean Technologies sign. I might have to put the sign over on that wall, Will. God, I'm getting packed with signs. That's good, though. That means we're surviving. Jason Mays, man, look at this guy. He's part of our diet bet. He's in the process of losing 100 pounds right now, and he is the world's #1 distributor of AMSOIL products. There's a sign right over my shoulder. independent dealer of AMSOIL. That's the only way you can get this product. Okay, AMSOIL is the best. They invented synthetic motor oil. And you call him at 616-747-0233. He's going to pick up the phone. He's a Saranac shit kicker. He'll talk to you personally. Or just go to jmsynthetics.com. Now, the way they do it on with AMSOIL, you can buy some of the products, just you and me. But if you want to unlock all of the other products that they have, and they have a lot of them, you would be surprised if you're a DIY pro or just a guy like me trying to get stuff done with the right products. You should get them from Jason, man. Go check out what it's all about on the products in the link of jmsynthetics.com. When you sign up as a preferred customer, this is what you do. You sign up as a preferred customer. It's going to cost you $20. Then buy $100 of products, and you knock that out quick. Case of oil or two, some degreaser, firearms lubricant, whatever it may be. Bar and chain oil. Once you get over $100 spent, he's going to reimburse the $20. Even if he didn't reimburse the $20, it's going to pay for itself because you save a lot of money with these products. With Jason. Jason's the only one that does this. Preferred customer. jmsynthetics.com. He's killing it. You got to go check it out. Look at the products. Please keep him in mind like you do all my sponsors. When you need it, you call on him. jmsynthetics.com. And last but certainly not least, if you grow stuff indoors, a.k.a. pot, think about Horizon Hydroponics. Now, first and foremost, not this week, but next week, I'm going to have the first ever Eric Zane Show podcast, Horizon Hydroponics Growers 101 Zoom session. This is open to everybody. If you are in the audience and you want to grow indoors and you want to sit and have a Zoom Growers 101 session with me as the moderator and the folks from Horizon Hydroponics, you get to see John's magnificent beard. You got to be on this. All I need from you, email eric@ericzaneshow.com. Write in the subject line, cannabis, Growers 101, whatever it is. And you're in. I'll send you the invite. We're going to do a Zoom together with John and any of the pros from Horizon Hydroponics and answering any of your questions on appropriate things you need to grow indoors. Now, some of you might grow celery or tomatoes or, I don't know, marigolds, for God's sake. Doesn't matter. They've got everything you need to grow indoors. This is a terrific hobby. It's very fun. Some of you that do grow cannabis, you grow these big, giant, beautiful buds. You come up with a fun name like the Zane Ickiest of the Sticky Guru Surprise or whatever it may be. You can use my name to name your cannabis. I want my name on cannabis, okay? HorizonHydroponics.com is their website. They do curbside at 877-791-1664. You can call in the order and have it delivered to you. 866-791-1664. So curbside is 877-791-1664. Call in the order for delivery at 866-791-1664. It's all there at HorizonHydroponics.com, and that's HORIZEN, hydroponics.com. When they gave me all that stuff back in those dark, gloomy, disgustingly awful shit show BBL days, they gave me all of the stuff to grow it. I ripped the tent. So John bought 3 months of advertising. And I go, well, you get 4 because I ripped your tent and I got to pay for the tent. Great, great folks. Love them. I was one of the things I talk about, not everybody's business. Some are suffering dramatically, like TC Paintball. God help them. Obviously, they need people to show up to be able to continue. But Horizon has just been murdering it. They are lucky. And that's it. I guess that's key. If your business has an online footprint, you're set up to survive something like this. And they really, really tapped into that ahead of time. I think there's a book called Dig Your Well Before It's Empty. They dug their well. Wait a minute. No. Dig your well before you're thirsty. That's what it is. Dig your well before it's empty. What an idiot. Okay, so when you see a headline about an unruly passenger on a plane, you might be like, uh-oh, boy, somebody got in trouble, and I wonder what's going to happen to them after this. You know, you might see video of some lady causing a stink. What was that one video where the lady hit the dude with the laptop? Remember that? I mean, that was a vicious one. But that was her boyfriend or her husband she hit. I forgot what she said during that. It was hilarious. And you could hear the laptop go right off his head. It was crazy. But interfering with the crew of a plane, I had no idea had this level of a penalty to it. My God. 23-year-old Amy Jo Amy Jo is her first name. No, wait a minute. It says Amy Jo and then hyphen Mancham John. Amy Jo Mancham John. She's a Grand Rapids lady. And, well, you know, she's flying Allegiant Airways in December of 2019. She's flying from Fort Lauderdale to Grand Rapids. Probably just finishing up a great vacation in sunny Florida, has to come back to the grind of Grand Rapids on a winter day. Day starts like any other day. Except something terrible happened on the plane. While on the plane, she was upset, and she got pissed off at the flight attendants. And for one reason or another, she got violent, did Amy Jo Mancham John of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And hands started to fly for the 23-year-old. She's like, hell no. And so she starts swinging at the flight crew, the flight attendants. Unruly and combative. And, well, this went to the United States Attorney General. She was arrested, and then she ended up pleading guilty on this. Now, when I see unruly on a plane, pleading guilty, if you plead guilt that you're guilty, I'm guessing that they might give you a break to some degree, cut you a deal, if you will, on that guilty plea. Boy, I wonder what would have happened to her if she didn't plead guilty, because she did plead guilty, and that charge has a mandatory 20-year prison term. Holy shit. And a $250,000 fine for interfering with a crew of a flight in this incident. Hey, hope you liked your life. It's now over. She got 20 years. And oh my God. Now, who knows? Maybe she's just, what if she's like a career, I mean, let's say she's not a career criminal. She's just like, she's looking for a career in accounting. She's got to be a doctor. And she lost her temper and flipped out, and she's getting 20 in the pen, plus $250,000. Who knows what she's doing for a living? I don't know. And then afterwards, she's got 3 years supervised release after that. Man, am I reading this wrong? The U.S. Attorney, was a federal incident. So the U.S. Attorney General, or the U.S. Attorney Andrew Burge, is the one who lowered the boom on her. Quote, unruly and combative passengers pose a danger to everyone on board a commercial aircraft. So, no, he's sticking by it. Said U.S. Attorney Andrew Burge in the release. Anyone who behaves like Ms. John should consider themselves warned. My office will not hesitate to enforce the law to keep travelers safe, and the legal consequences are serious. All right, well, I don't blame him at all. I think this dumb bitch is, boy, let it be known. I'm doing my part to let you know that if you act like, in the same podcast where we have people acting like an asshole at the ice cream place in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, you're on notice. You cannot behave like this. So Amy Jo Mancham John of Grand Rapids, Michigan, we will see you in 2040. When you're 43 years old, and you're going to look like one of the grayling meth hags when when your fucking sentence is done. Now, who knows? Maybe with good behavior, she'll get out of it to some degree, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say anything about that. It just says this dumb bitch got 20 years. Ooh. Holy shit. I wish I could get a look at this beast so I could judge her even more. You know? Man, is that incredible. 20 years locked away. Joe, what do you think about this?
Tu madre es una puta.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you thought we could make it through without at least just one, without one of those, but we had to get one in. All right, folks, that is it. The Eric Zane Show podcast is done. I'm so happy that you were here today. It's always a treat. Sorry about early on when if you're watching on the live stream, that shit went ape. I don't know what I did. I think I blew a fuse. Note to self, don't plug in the space heater to the plug strip. Ah, well, live and learn. On Patreon, I've got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia coming up at 10:30 Eastern Time. Dale takes on Logan Ridge Howard of Portland, Maine. That happens in 26 minutes. Till next time. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.